Welcome back.
Afrique, Afrique, et malheureusement Afrique sans fric. Oh, naso idée, naso idée, Yendenika. Mais oui, c'est comme ça. Eh oui.
Back. This is a brand new episode of Now You Know Podcast. As always, this podcast is brought to you by our good friends at SITM, that is Stuck in the Middle. Before we dive into tonight's episode, please do check us out on Instagram at NYK Podcast. We are also on Twitter at NayuKnow1. It's good to see everybody's faces, big heads, big black beautiful heads. Hopefully Kurt Zuma doesn't come and kick people's heads, but that's beside the point. I'm here tonight with Nda, the OGs, Aristide, the part-time chef. The guy who loves his microwave and then calls himself chef, Mr. Carson.
Don't disrespect me.
And tonight, making his way back from wherever he came from, wherever he went to, Mr. Blessingwa is making a very bright appearance tonight. Good to see you, my friend. How's everybody doing tonight?
Thank the Lord.
I feel disrespected.
You're disrespected.
By you especially.
It's all good. It's all good. Also, we have a guest today. He is from Senegal, representing the current African champions, Mr. Mustafa Kebe. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. Hi, everybody.
What's up, Mustafa?
Nice to meet everybody here.
So, Mustafa, what we normally do with our guests is that when you come on Now You Know podcast, you have to introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and then give us a fun fact about you.
Oh, you should have told me this because I wasn't ready. So
This is better. Yeah.
I'm not a special guest, so But yeah, my name is Mustafa Kebe, from Senegal. And I live in New Jersey, South Jersey actually, and work in banking, and yeah, so just happy to be here to share ideas and talk about the Afcon tournament that just happened in Cameroon. So glad to meet everybody.
Nice to meet you too. And I like how you just decided to mention our topic without the host mentioning the topic. That's a fine. But as mentioned, tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about everything African Cup of Nations. I'm sure many of you watch that tournament. It was about a month long. A lot of things happened. So we're going to get into that tournament and everything that happened in Cameroon. So we have here we have some soccer players here. We have some soccer fans here. Now, please, where do you stand?
Which one are you?
We have soccer players, we have fans, then we have fans that are soccer players.
Don't even count yourself among the last one.
You guys. Shut up.
This guy with his two
So
left.
please
I'm all there about,
tell us where you stand. Are you a player, or are you a fan, or are you
Well,
a
I mean,
fan that plays?
considering the fact that I haven't, I retired, I left my boots, I lost my boots. It's been a couple of years since I found my boots, so I would say right now I'm a fan. I'm mostly a fan these days. So
Mm.
I love being a fan for sure.
I love being a fan for sure. That's good. That's good. We're in America, right? So they call it soccer, but as we grew up in Cameroon, we know it as football, right? And we actually have Blessing, who is a referee, so he knows the ins and out of Afcon, African Cup of Nations. So please, do you want to tell the audience what Afcon is all about, what it means for Africa, like what it means, for the continent itself? I'm gonna give our audience a little bit insight, eh?
Well, first of all, the African Nations Cup or the Afcon is the continental tournament for Africa. I don't know if I can speak for the whole of Africa, but at least I can speak for myself. This is a tournament that we started watching as kids. You know, I've always watched as a kid. Even back then, I didn't even know what it meant or the words Afcon stood for. But whenever Cameroon was playing, especially against like Nigeria or against Senegal in 2002, we always support and because soccer has just been or football has just been a very big part of our lives ever since we were kids. So I mean, started watching it as kids, probably gonna die watching it.
Yeah. So like you say, you can't really speak for yourself, and I think that's one of the things why we had to bring, someone from another country to get another perspective because all of us here on the panel are from Cameroon. So I felt like we needed to bring in, someone outside of Cameroon to give us uh, perspective, and we will get to Senegal, being Senegal later on this podcast. But Mustafa, too. So what does Afcon mean? In terms of you being Senegalese, right? What does it mean for the people of Senegal as as football is the national sport of the country?
I mean, I think it's, I think we can, I can speak for myself and for many Africans, because Afcon is one of the biggest, soccer tournament in Africa, and for Africans, you know, it's actually, sometimes people compare to the World Cup for Africa, and it started way back. I think I don't have the exact data, but I would say like in the 50s. So it's we grew up watching the Afcon. It's something very important for us. I think the passion is shared all around Africa. And you know countries like Cameroon, they have a huge impact in when we talk about Afcon. We have to be real. Egypt is one of those teams that Ghana, Nigeria. I mean, those are the, and now we have like Ivory Coast, Algeria and Tunisia, and those teams that trying to be part of the mix. But I think as of now, we have like 15 countries that have won this competition. So you know, just
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. I like how you mentioned. I like how you mentioned that is a big deal, right? It's a big deal for us Africans. So I remember, I don't know if it was a few months ago when the coach of Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp,
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that Mane and Salah, the Liverpool players, will be going to, I think what it was. I think he said a small or little tournament,
Yeah, it's
a little
it's a little tournament.
a little tournament. So let me pull Carson with his dreads into this
But just
since.
just just to add on that, actually there's a post from DJ Drogba who trying to respond to Klopp today. I mean, I think it was yesterday or something.
Yeah, 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 I think I did see that.
He showed the crowd, welcoming the Senegalese player and say, this is not a little tournament for us, it's big. So
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I kind of wanted to bring in Carson because he's very quiet, even though he's a part-time football fan as well. But Carson, when you heard about that, right?
This guy.
How did you feel when someone club when he said that the African Nations Cup is a small tournament?
I mean, in a sense, he's not wrong.
Let me pee my.
So, and again, it's just facts, right? Let's look at it in reality, right? Africa is one of the biggest continent. In a sense, it's the biggest, one of the biggest continents. It should be one of the biggest events in the world. But if we think about it, it's not publicized at all. It's not promoted as a big tournament, and which is why he's correct when he says that, right? Is it right? No, it's not right. If we think about it, how many times was that on TV? It was on Being Sports. I know for sure in the East Coast, if you don't have Verizon, you don't have access to it legally, really. Comcast, you don't have it, which is what one of the biggest networks throughout the country. So when you think about stuff like the Euros being on ESPN, you think about the World Cup being on what, ABC, ESPN, whatever it's on Fox. Those are tournaments that are publicized, right? But as Afcon, since we're Africa, since we're, what does Trump call us again? um
Shithole.
Shithole countries, yeah. So of course we don't get publicized at all. It gets treated as a small tournament. And you see teams in Europe hesitant to send their players to go back to play, et cetera, et cetera. So it's just, hey, he's right, but at the same time he's wrong.
Yeah, I have to jump on that, man. I think no, I cannot let you say that because the way you look at it, you're talking in terms of publicity. He wasn't talking about publicity. He was just trying to demonize,
What a
like
big deal.
the competition itself. So it's different. It's a different thing. And the fact is actually Africom is the third most important tournament in the world, beside the World Cup and the European
Euros.
um, and the Euros. So
So
it is big. And
so
now yeah,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
finish up. I'll let you finish.
No,
Go. All right.
yeah,
So again, just
and
like I
now
said, he's right and he's
mhm.
wrong. It might be the
No,
biggest, but again, when we look at publicity, revenue, eyes on the table, we are not nowhere near the top.
I mean, if Afcon is bigger than like the CONMEBOL, tournament, so it is big.
Is it? Again,
I'm
because
telling
they,
you,
they get more views than we do.
I don't think so. No,
They
I'm telling you
generate
because
more revenue.
it's a fair competition.
Okay, so I'll put it this way, right? Where can you watch a common ball?
So, yo,
ESPN.
Carson, I feel
Where can
like
you watch AFCON? Being sports. Again, I'm not agreeing with what he's saying. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying that he
No,
does have an actual point. We can't read into what he meant by that.
no,
That's
no,
speculation.
but what I'm trying to tell you is you have a different lecture than Club. Club wasn't talking about in terms of how big the tournament is on TV. He was talking about the tournament itself, the meaning of it. You see
Did he
what I'm
say
saying? He
that?
wasn't talking about
Did he
how
say
big
that?
it is publicized on. Huh?
That's your interpretation of what he's saying.
Well, that's what everybody understood
Nah,
about.
again, you're thinking about this in an emotional fashion. If you think
No, no,
about
no,
it
no.
just logically,
No, listen,
you
it's
wouldn't
not
you
about
wouldn't come to
emotion.
that
And
conclusion.
no, it's not even club. It's not just club though. It's almost all the coaches
We're
in Europe
talking
because they
about
don't
Klopp
want
right
to
now.
play.
Again,
Yeah,
because you have to give
yeah.
Klopp the
I'm
benefit
just
of the
telling you.
doubt, though. Klopp has no problem
Yeah.
playing African players. He sees the
Uh,
value in us. Come on.
it doesn't matter, but still, what he said is not, is not right, and I think it's wrong. This, to me, it can be right and wrong at the same time.
Again, the question was not about what he said was being right in terms of ethics. It was about being factually right in terms of revenue,
Yeah.
eye attention, eyes.
Well,
He was actually
I
right
just
about
told
that.
you.
Wait, wait,
I
wait.
just told you. It's the biggest
Let me jump
competition.
into this. Let me jump into this, right?
I
So,
want to jump into it as well.
so I know we can get
I
passionate,
don't mind
right?
jumping as well.
I know we can all get passionate about this topic, not just because we're Africans, but because we're also fans of the sport, right? But I think we need to look at the big picture, right? Because if Salah and Mane were European players, that comment never would have been said. Do you agree with?
Right.
You all agree with that?
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
Bell, before we get to that though, I mean,
Hmm.
I don't think that, and if I'm wrong, please correct me. I don't think that all of us here
Hmm.
saw when Klopp made that statement. Where we learned about this was when the journalist asked him the question about saying the Afcon was a little tournament. And I think in Klopp's defense or in his response, he mentioned English not being his first language and just kind of talking about, oh, maybe there's this little tournament that we forgot about. Maybe so to him, it wasn't a matter of it actually being a little tournament. It was just saying, oh, we forgot about something. There's that little something that I've forgotten about. So who knows? Maybe that's what he meant to say. Maybe it's not what he meant to say. But now also about AFCON being small. I don't think it's only club. A lot of people treat AFCON like it's a small tournament. Um, I saw I think it was a post by BR Live on Twitter.
Mm.
talking about Juventus and Real Madrid and some other clubs were playing the same time as
All
the
the same
AFCON
time as the final, yeah.
final, and asked the question: does the AFCON deserve more respect? So I was questioning. I was in my head. I'm like, are they saying that nobody respects AFCON? But it is just it's just what it is.
But
That chime in
but
here.
but the thing, let me tell you something. We need to start, looking stuff in the prism of Africans, because most of the time, like we're looking for all this, like especially the Western, to validate what we are doing. You see what I'm saying? Our competition, we know what it is represent for Africans. We are the one who can make it big for ourselves. We need to stop like waiting for us to tell us, oh yeah, your competition is a big competition or not. To me, I think if you go to Africa and you talk to Africans, you know how big it is. And to be honest, in the past of 10 years, I can say the competition is broadcast in now all Europe, and before it never happened like that. So it's being publicized, and it's going to go crescendo, I think. So to me, some of these things that was said by some European coach, they were saying that just because they didn't want to let their players go, so it was a conflict of interest there. So, but I think we need to kind of look things from our own perspective, and not just expect the other people to give us to validate what we are doing. I don't know if I'm if you guys
Question:
see what I'm
did
trying,
you
what I'm trying
actually
to.
get the context of what Klopp was actually saying? Did you actually hear it, or you just saw the headline?
I listened to him. Yeah, I listened to the
Okay,
press
because
conference.
he was actually promoting the Afcon, not necessarily down talking it. If you actually got the
Uh,
context behind it,
well,
because
it
he
came out
said
wrong though.
specifically, they asked him about international breaks, and he said there's just a little tournament going on. He was being sarcastic
You
because
can.
if you think about it, again, if you think about it, international break, that's when you have the Euros. There's no other tournament going on when you have the other tournaments going through, right? The big tournaments. When AFCON is going on, all the regular tournaments are still going through. Again, hence why it's a little tournament, because again, not enough eyes are on it. But he's publicized.
What do you mean? No,
He's
hold on,
saying
hold on.
that there is
Hold
an actual
on.
tournament going on. He actually
Nah,
brought attention to it.
Hold on.
I
When you
don't know if
say
I agree with
not too
that.
many eyes on it, what eyes are you talking about? What eyes are you talking about? You talking about Africans' eyes, or
I'm talking about the
like
world. The world. When any other European tournament goes on, the soccer world stops, and you focus on
Absolutely
that one.
not.
What I
No, I don't think so.
what top five tournaments going on during the Euros? I'll wait.
What happened?
What top five competition league is going on during the Euros?
Major
But
League
but
Soccer.
you know why? They changed? You know why they changed the? You know that the Afcon wasn't supposed to be happening this time, though. You know that.
Exactly.
But it happened now.
The regular schedule is not January. It's not January.
What?
It's not January.
When
It's
does it
supposed
July.
to
happen?
be like.
Is it normally June, July?
No,
Huh?
Is AFCON normally June, July?
Oh,
Or is it always going to be
what happened?
January, February?
Exactly. Yeah. Because FIFA, FIFA and the European Cup, especially FIFA, because I don't understand what was the context, but
Yeah, because the next
they
one's going to be
changed
June,
it because
July.
the World Cup.
And
Yeah.
it happens.
So, but again, I mean, we got to move on to
Yeah,
about
I
this.
think, but before we move on, though, right?
Everybody have their own understanding about
Yeah, I
I mean,
think
he did
I
clarify his
wanna
statement
pull
though, so we
RFC into
can't
this though
really.
because
Of course, of course,
I
of course, he's
think
going to clarify the statement after he said it because there's backlash from Africans like us talking about it. But I mean, Blesso, I definitely understand where you're coming from. Highlighting the fact that his English is not his first language, and him using that word "little," might have been put out of context. But at the same time, we can't overlook that the fact that he used "little" is even a problem because let's say if that was okay, you made a point that obviously Euros is bigger than Afcon right now because guess what? It's in Europe. It's not in Africa. If that was an Afcon, he would be like, okay, plus the Euros are coming up. But he had to go and then use that word little. There was like, it doesn't matter the if he didn't know English or what, bro, that guy has been in England for how many years? He's a freaking coach. He knows what little means. He can't come back. He's gonna come back after the fact and say that's not what I meant. Of course. But if this was a different tournament, for example, in Europe, he would say the name. He would say, okay, Euros are coming up. But because this was in Africa, this is how I feel. He said, there's a little tournament coming up. Oh, it's going to be in Africa. Why is that? We can't overlook that, man.
Did he
We
just
really
mention
can't.
Africa, or did he mention other tournaments as well?
I mean, for the sake of this conversation, we're talking about
No,
Afcon.
no. Did he
So,
also, in that same statement, again, since we all heard the full
I
context, did he
so
also mention other countries?
well, I'm only talking about Afcon. He said
No,
little when he
again,
referred
he
to
said
Afcon.
little, and he referred to other tournaments as
Others
well
like
with that
what? What did he
with that
refer
same
to? What
statement.
did he refer
So
to,
what's the tournament that goes on in Asia?
Don't know.
bro?
he meant,
I don't
again, he
even
was
know.
being sarcastic. They asked him a question. He was asked about an international break. He was being sarcastic when he
No,
gave
no,
the
no, no.
actual
But this
statement.
also this is what I'm saying, Carson. As a somebody who's highly, acknowledged, like someone like a coach like Club, right? There's certain things that you don't say or that you have to refrain from saying. Sarcasm, I get it. You want to make the press blah 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 blah, but people are gonna eat that up. We can't call Afcon. It's like what Mustafa said. We sometimes maybe Africans or like us, we try to look for validation from abroad. But we ourselves as Africans, we know that the competition is big. So what makes you a European to come and saying that our competition is small? What is because of revenue?
No,
Why
no, no,
why do
no.
we not get more revenue? Why are we not on ESPN? It's because what?
Did
We're in
his statement
Africa.
not get more eyes? Did his statement not bring more attention to us? It did,
That
for
we
one. For two, he made a
that is
full.
negative press though.
It's not again. Hey, there's no negative press.
So
All press is good press.
who do you know from
All
England that
press
when I
is
watch
good
Afcon
press.
because club said that there's a little
Are we not?
tournament going on in Africa?
Is there not
Oh, a
is there
lot
not
of
articles about it?
a
A
lot of
lot
people
of people
actually
did.
watched
For one,
because
Especially
and
when Cameroon missed that PK, I saw a bunch of people
you
from
see,
England.
because of, again, partially because of what he said, but second, you're taking a headline. He made a full
first
statement.
of all, the thing
You're
is right.
taking a headline.
First of all, if the Europeans want to watch AFCON, that's their business. If they don't want to watch it, that's the problem. My whole point is they need to put the same respect when we say our players have to go to Africa for our
Actors.
tournament.
And that's why he made that statement, again, sarcastically, to get the same respect, which is why, if you watch the full conference, you would understand that that was
All
the
right,
point he was making.
gentlemen, we can
And
talk
for
club all
two,
night,
All right.
but
one
we
more
need to
thing.
move
And for
on.
two, because he did make
Mm-hmm.
that statement, and you did say that, what does it matter if the other people watch it? It does help us as well too, right? Because the more revenue we get, the more revenue we get to put towards our facilities, more jobs we get towards our countries that are hosting
No,
it. So it does make a
if you
difference,
want to
as a
put
matter of
revenue
fact.
towards your facilities, talk to your government. Talk to
It's not just
Fekafoot.
about the government.
It's not
It's
about
Guys,
capitalism.
AFCON.
It's
let me be real with you
capitalism.
guys. We can go on and on and on and on
Thank you.
about club. We can go on and on about people acknowledging the Afcon as a big tournament. But there's one way we can fix this. If we have to put money into it, and if Africa has big leagues that are going to start making people watch, they're always going to look at Afcon like that. So, but like Mustafa said, we don't have to get validation from the people outside. We know what Afcon means to us, and
Mm-hmm.
it's big to us. It's big to us. Forget what the other people say.
They need to
Actors.
watch. So it's a big actor.
Let's move on before they cut our,
Shut up.
bill for the day. Anyway, so Afcon, right? It was held in our home country, Cameroon. After many months of, hey, is Cameroon going to host? Can Cameroon host? Can Cameroon host? Yes, Cameroon can host, and we hosted, and it was a great success. Carson, don't even start with me right now.
Success.
Let me finish my statement. Let me finish my. It was a great success, but
Hmm. Hmm.
but as every tournament comes, there's always going to be issues, right? There are some serious issues, and there are some very funny issues, right? So I don't know where if I want to go with the funny issues first, or we'll go with the
The
serious
funny,
issues or the funny.
funny, funny.
So funny issues, right? So one of the more funnier things was cultural shock that some of our beloved African brothers face while they were in Cameroon. There was this Ghanaian
Hmm.
vlogger,
Journalists.
or journalist vlogger. Cameroon has issues, right? And we all know what those issues are. But apparently, this guy's biggest issue about being in Cameroon is that we don't have KFC. There's a whole tournament
uh,
going. There's a whole tournament happening in the country, you're coming to a new culture. Obviously there's going to be different kinds of food, but your issue is about a Western chain. Huh? Gaston, I know you love your African food, so I'm going to pick on you. What do you think about this?
Very useless guy. For one. My thing is, right? I, I don't know what happened. Maybe he didn't eat his boiled egg or anything that morning. Who knows? But did he come there for the tournament or did he come there for KFC? And the thing is, if you're coming to Cameroon, why are you looking for KFC? Are we in Kentucky?
Yeah, yeah,
Like, out of
yeah, yeah,
anything
yeah.
else, you could have like literally KFC. Come on now. Like we don't do we the Cameroonians even know what KFC is?
Nah, yo, in KFC means Cameroon. In Cameroon, KFC
Kumba.
means Kerry's fried chicken.
Kerry's fried chicken.
Hey,
Mm.
bro.
Shepherdess Kerry.
If it is Kerry, shout out to you. And then
Why?
another one was another one was the Moroccans, right? I don't know if it's true or not, but it's still funny. So apparently, when the Moroccans were flying to Cameroon, they carried every single thing you can think of except the hotel. So they brought every single
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
under the sun, right? From I guess hygiene stuff to their own towels, blankets, etc. etc. Blessing, you're a very
But
clean boy. I know you're a very clean boy. What do you think?
you know
Uh,
why they do it, why they did that, right?
Why is that? Please enlighten us.
No, let me tell you. Let's flip the thing. If the tournament was in France, they would never go do that. You know why? Because they think they look down to us. That's why they acted that way.
We're gonna get on
I
that.
you can
We're gonna get to that.
you
Hold,
can
hold, you hold that thought. Hold that thought. We're gonna come to that. We're gonna come to that.
yeah, but let me. I just wanted to talk about the tournament itself. I look,
Hmm.
you know, there's always some any tournament you organize. There's some issues, small, big, But honestly, you know, I have to say Cameroon did a very good job. The tournament was great. I mean, the stadium was nice. Of course, some of the pitches are not great, but things that those things happen. I mean, so sometimes you have to look at. You cannot compare like the European pitches like in Africa. We don't have the same financial power to do the same thing. And I'm telling you, like the money that they spend to host this tournament, they could have spent it in other areas. See what I'm saying? So they make a lot of efforts to make the tournament a successful one. And to be honest, it was successful. We saw some great games at times. Some teams that were like that we were not expecting, like Gambia and Comoros. So there's all the little things that happen that didn't go well. It's fine, but I don't think overall it doesn't make the tournament like a bad tournament. So I see people complain about the heat, but one thing I don't like though, don't let the team play at 2 o'clock. I don't see why they would let people play at two because it's really not difficult, especially if you like play in high altitude. But other than that, anything else we can improve over time. Like next tournament in Ivory Coast, maybe they can CAF should focus on the pitches, make sure we have like very decent pitches. I mean, it's can be done, but to just like because what I notice on social media is people are just trying to diss the competition, to say bad things, especially in the European media. Oh my gosh, man, that drives me nuts. They just pick on little things that don't even matter really.
That's always expected though. It's like
Yeah, yeah, of
it's
course,
like a
yeah,
lot of times when things like that happen in Europe, who cares? It's Europe, right? But
yeah, yeah.
when it's
Yeah.
Africa, they feel like okay, let's talk about it. Let's drag Africa. Let's just do all that. It's something that we've come to expect. But I think in terms of what I wanted to ask lesson about the whole Morocco incident, them bringing all the items to Cameroon. What do you think? Can Cameroon not provide that for them?
I mean,
Of course they can.
first of all, I don't know how true that is. It's
It's
just
true.
something that
It's
was out
true.
there. Okay,
That's true, yeah.
so even if it was true, I personally don't find any problem with that. Um,
Yeah.
Because, for example, I went to Cameroon this last December. I had some of the food. I had running stomach. Why? Because I'm not used to that. I've not eaten that in a long time. So now, what do you think about other people who are not even
Watch
Cameroonians
out.
coming to Cameroon for probably their first time? So if as long as it's not against the rule, whatever is going to help you perform better in that tournament, whatever is going to make you guys comfortable, whatever is going to make you feel at home, feel free to bring it. Cameroon could provide them, but yes, Cameroon could. You can come to my house. I have tap water, but it's water. You don't like drinking tap water, so you bring your bottled water. I'm totally fine with that.
That's facts. I agree with you.
I I ag- I agree. I mean, honestly, I don't have a problem with them bringing like the Bell say everything they need. There's no problem with it. But but the thing is, they assume that Cameroon cannot give them that quality of food, quality of like those amenities that they need for themselves. They cannot. Of course, if you go to a hotel like a five-star hotel in Cameroon, I'm sure they are trained to give those same quality that they bring from Morocco. You see what I'm saying? It's not like you go to somebody's house who doesn't have like some like good water or anything like that. I'm sure the hotel they have COVID protocol in place. They can provide them with nice beds and sheets and everything, good cooks and chefs and stuff like that. But my thing is, if the tournament was in France or in the US, they will never do that. You see what I'm saying?
Again, that's making an assumption though, because again,
I'm
you're
I-
assuming
100%.
preference
Um,
from. Again, did you
I mean,
speak to these people? Did they
let
tell
me
you that?
let, did they play the World Cup in Russia? Did they bring any? They didn't do what they did
Do we know
down in
that?
in
Again,
Russia.
if I know I'm going, let's say for example, right, like
But
he
everybody
said,
know.
he's going to Cameroon. He's not used to that. They might be used to that. A lot of these players, what do they play? Do they play in Cameroon? Do they
What
play
do you
in
mean they
Europe?
don't use it? If they go to the hotel, they can ask for any type of food that they want. They don't have to eat Cameroonian food. You see what I'm saying?
And just like he mentioned earlier, Blesso mentioned earlier, again, you're going to have a specific kind for what that hotel can provide. If it's something that I don't prefer, I'm going to bring what I'm going to use. And second, we can say all this stuff. Cameroon has actually proven, like Gambia's team would wish they brought their buses there because their bus team bus broke down.
That was not
So
that didn't happen though.
what the video was
It
online.
was traffic. It wasn't the bus didn't break down.
Oh well, it seemed like it did. From
You
what we
see,
saw online, it showed it did.
you
But
see,
either way, it goes back to
it's not
if you have a
it's not
specific
everything you
preference,
see.
what's the reason?
Don't believe everything you see online.
I'll tell you this, right? As far as preference goes, I go to restaurants and I bring my own ketchup in there because I don't want to use theirs.
Those or hot sauce or pepper.
I'm sure you bring your own food and just let your date let your date order.
No, I'm
Yeah.
being dead serious. I literally bring my own. I bring my own ketchup.
I can see
I
that.
don't.
That
I
does
don't
not
do that.
surprise me. Knowing
Yeah,
you,
like bro,
I'm not surprised.
I don't want to
Ketchup,
use yours. Cool, I'm gonna use mine.
ketchup and Crocs.
Yeah, facts.
Uh,
I'll still go to the
look,
restaurant to
look,
that
me,
restaurant every
me.
time, but I'll still bring it.
I don't have. Honestly, to be honest, though, first time when I heard that news, I'm like, it's fine. If they want to bring it, whatever, they can bring it. Who cares? But
Yeah, I
but at
mean,
the same time, I
yeah,
think
yeah. I
it's
mean,
just
I, I
it's
I
just
do agree
friends.
though. I do agree, right? You
You
have every right to bring. I mean, you have every right to bring what you need, right? Just like how when we travel to places, we take certain things that we need, right? It doesn't have to be country specific, but it's just what makes us comfortable.
But but
Yeah.
but but the thing is, I mean, you can do it, but it doesn't look honestly good. It's like I invite you to my place and you bring your own food because you don't trust me. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
just
I
looking at
mean,
the bigger picture.
yeah, I mean, it's true, right? I mean, that's the same thing. We went back to the whole club incident, right? There are many ways we can look at situations, right? And I actually wanted to bring Aristide into this as well, because you have your Cameroon jersey on, and it's like you're ready to defend the continent, or sorry, not the continent, defend the country, because yeah, Bobia son. Um, but how watching the tournament, right? Did you get like a sense of pride, being that it was held in Cameroon? Like, how did it make you feel as a Cameroonian watching the tournament? I don't know how many Afcons you've watched because, yeah, post Mugabe,
Yeah,
football fan.
None.
Yeah, yeah.
Plastic football fan.
So, so yeah, you're very new to this lifestyle. So I don't know if this is your first tournament because my boss, you remember Mali Demi Day. I don't know about you, but um, how did
I'm a
you
young
feel?
man.
How did you feel watching this tournament being held in your home country?
It was amazing, because some most of the games I watch them with friends, and I have friends from different places. I have friends from Ghana, Liberia, and so on. And we watched some of these games together. The finals watched together, and it was just for me. It was like prideful, like us seeing together and watching a tournament that is hosted in my home country. And it was just good for me sitting there and chatting with people, and I'm like, wow, this is Cameroon, this is Bafoussam, this is Douala. I know these places, and just seeing the fans from other countries, Egypt, Algeria, and so on, coming into Cameroon and like having that Cameroon experience, even though some of them maybe didn't, want a KFC, but we had we it was so much. I think so much joy because I don't know if you remember when 2017 when Cameroon won the Afcon, right? We watched it in Laurel, and it was when I watched it then I don't remember where it was at that time where they were hosting it, but it was a great feeling, experiencing that. It was even greater, even though we didn't win it this time, knowing that we played so well and we hosted it as well, and it was good seeing people come to the field. Cameroonian fans come to the stadium to support the team. And all the Cameroonians here, and probably Mustafa, as well. There's been a lot of like tension going on in Cameroon, stuff in different regions going on. So I feel like it was
Mm.
it was that one time that people sort of came together, even though it was just for a couple of weeks. But for those couple of weeks, it was just about Cameroon football and supporting the team and supporting the country, which it was really great. And I'm really grateful, and I'm proud to be Cameroonian because of that. We definitely hosted a great tournament, and it was amazing.
Papa P's son. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said.
Nah.
Actually, I mean, I like you brought some very good points, and we want to touch on that after we do our first segment of the day, which is the African proverb.
Lugambia, Yondola Sadika, Bokaya Madika, Malenga Nabika. Baby, you move your body. Go to the back, shake your body. Rasin Bunda, move your body. Check one and check your body. Hey, Lil Mudon, stop, move your body. Nene Far, shake your body. Move your body. Sherry, shake your body. Lu neex du doy man basta may doli. Doli ñu. Lu neex du doy man basta may doli. Bas doli yow TikTok lakk na dëkk bi moo xanaa neex. TikTok moo lambee suñu réew. TikTok bopp si VIP. TikTok move your body.
Aristide already kind of hinted into that in terms of what's going on in Cameroon. So today's proverb says, if there's one thing on this planet that has the power to bind people, it is soccer. Mm.
Mm. Can you say
Mm.
can you say it again? But instead of soccer, say football.
Football.
Sorry, sir, I forgot that. When you cross the Atlantic Ocean, you tend to be confusing it.
Mm.
No, I want to understand it well.
Oh, okay,
For
okay,
those in the
okay,
back with the big heads.
okay.
Mm,
So the
mm,
African proverb, from Nelson Mandela,
mm,
it says, if there is one thing on this planet that has the power to bind people, it is football.
mm.
Mm,
That's true.
mm. So I guess, how do you think, or how do you? I mean, it's very easy
Dissect.
to dissect it, but dissect it anyway. You're just
Mustafa,
smiling, Mustafa.
that's
Please
you. What do you think of it?
dissect the proverb. You're just smiling. You.
No, I mean, look, that's true, man. Sport brings everybody, all people together, whether they have, different opinions, whether it's political opinions, religious, or whatever, when football is here, everybody, get together. Just the example of Senegal, like I've been watching when the president, welcome the players. There's, some opposition leaders that he never talked to, for a long time. They never talked, with the president, but they were part of the ceremony. So, and nowadays in Senegal, nobody talk about politics anymore. It's all about, happiness. It's all about, uh, being proud, of the achievement of the team. So, and like, what I forgot his name was saying about Cameroon, like everybody come together, even though you guys have like some problems right now, but for like couple of weeks, people forget about all those problems because of football. So I think he's right.
Yeah, you're right about that. Anybody else feel like chiming in?
I mean, I think it's just as easy as this. When you watch the games that took place in Cameroon, even when teams were playing that were not Cameroon, you saw a lot of fans in the stadiums, and all of those fans were not from those countries playing. They were Cameroonians because football brought them together. You saw people from Cameroon, uh, having fun and laughing and supporting football with people from Egypt, Gambia. So football brings everybody together. One big party.
It's facts.
What about Ivory Coast?
I tried to get an Ivorian on the podcast tonight just so I could drag them a bit, but I couldn't
Yeah.
find one. I tried. So pretty much, so yeah, so like we were
Oh,
talking, right? So the Afcon, just some stats here, right? So overall, there were 52 games. There were 100 goals scored. That's about what 1.9. So it was a good tournament. We saw a lot of goals. I mean, the first few games were kind of like draws, left and right, 0-0 games. But I think as the tournament progressed, everybody started getting comfortable within the country, getting comfortable with the fields, getting comfortable with the change in lifestyle, change in culture. The games, started to be um, more fun, more engaging. More end to end. But I think one country that really surprised me is I don't know about you guys, the Comoros. They really surprised me with their performance, and I think they were when they went back home, they were greeted as as national heroes. So I don't know,
heroes.
uh, which country like really surprised you guys in terms of the performance? Like you did not expect them to be, good, but they just came and wowed you.
Gambia.
Gambia as well.
The
Yeah.
Gambia. The
Yeah.
Gambia wowed me.
So in terms of players, though,
And
who wowed you?
Bubaka
Equatorial
El
Guinea.
Capitano.
Mm.
Abubakar wowed you.
I mean,
Come on
I
now.
wouldn't. I mean,
Come on.
for a
Come
part-time
on.
soccer fan,
Come on. Come on.
that's
Bro,
something they'll
play out
say.
the tournament. Come on. Tell me Abubakar didn't know wow you. Did you expect that much from him?
Yes.
Golden
I
boot.
did.
That is the same guy who
I
won all
mean,
the thing
who
in
won also
2017.
Afcon?
What are you talking
Man,
about?
look, man.
Even
Abubakar,
Aristide knows this one.
I'm proud of that guy. Because the thing is, right, with Cameroon, again, you guys are talking this nonsense, right? Let's be real, right? We always have that one guy that's like, the national hero. Before Eto, Regime Lamboma, Song Eto. I did not
This
see
guy is
Abubakar
proving
at
his
that
fanhood.
level. Like Abubakar has actually elevated himself now, like to the point where if he retires from Cameroon national team, like he's certified up there.
But us
I
that watch
think
him, we
no,
know him
exactly.
already.
I think this is the problem because you don't watch
No, no,
football.
no. We
So
knew him, but
hold on
before this
now.
tournament, come on now.
You knew him as Abubakar, but the fact that you don't watch football, you don't even know what team
Name
he
was
plays
Abube.
for. You don't
Yes,
know.
when
So
what
this
Turkey?
this probably surprises you. No, we knew he was up to this task, and he just proved us right.
Hey man, when I'm
Question.
all
Hold on.
yeah.
A question. What tournament has he performed this well and like how many tournaments has he performed this well consistently?
Abubakar performs everywhere he goes. That's the
Everywhere he goes, he
thing.
Oh,
performs.
Porto, Besiktas,
Porto,
Abubakar always
Besiktas.
performs, man.
Again,
Nothing
Besiktas,
new.
what 10 goals a season that's performing to you guys?
In that league, it is.
20,
Every league
Come on,
has.
man. I bet get out of here. Come on now. Let's be real. Again, let's be
hang on,
real.
Abubakar is not a
When we're
20
talking
goal.
greatness, we're not.
Abubakar is not a 20 goal a season striker, right? I
Let's
think
see.
his
Let's hear
max
what
is like
Mustafa is
16.
saying.
No, I was saying in the Afcon in 2017, he scored a winner, right? Against
Yes.
Egypt, right?
Again, one goal. That is
Which it wasn't the only goal he scored in
But
the tournament.
it's the most important goal, yeah?
Yep.
You winning
Thank
the
you.
cup.
Christ,
As
man.
a striker,
You
you have
guys have
one
really,
job: put the ball back of the net. That's your
you
job
guys have
as a
unbelievable.
striker.
Again, you're saying that's his job as a striker, right? But then
Mhm.
you said in Besiktas he did it on like 10 times a season. So throughout the
All
whole
right,
season he didn't
Cassius,
do his job.
let's put it this
Come
way,
on
right?
now.
Let's put it
Let's
this way. Let's put it this way. As Cameroon fans, right? Cameroon football fans, right? When the team sheet was set, when all the we knew certain people that are going to play good. You know what I mean? So in a sense, you don't you already know that okay, this guy's gonna play well. This guy maybe but this guy right here, that's gonna be one of our stars. So in that sense, most people knew that Abubakar is gonna play well. We didn't know that he was gonna be the top goal scorer, but we know that in Cameroon, he's gonna play as he usually plays. He's gonna play hard and tough.
And that's my point, right? You knew he was going to play well. You did not know he was going to play that well.
Oh, we
That's
knew.
why he was the
I
biggest
mean,
surprise.
it wasn't really a big surprise.
To me,
Yeah,
that's a
I mean,
surprise, right? 'Cause
I wasn't wild. When you talk about wow factors, I think about moments like where the Comoros left back got in go and played goalie and
Goalie.
actually made
And
saves.
saved
Like
against Abubakar.
saves, you know.
So again,
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. We're not acknowledging the work he did. It's
Yep.
not. We're not talking down on him
Yeah,
or saying he
downplaying his
didn't do
work.
good. Or
We're not
no,
downplaying
no,
what,
no,
what
no,
we come
no.
to expect from Abubakar.
Yes, it's
So
what we.
I'll put it
he's-
this way, right? If this
Abubi.
performance that he had, which is his best performance, I would
Mhm.
say in any tournament,
Mhm.
if he was 20 years younger, because we know this guy's probably 40, he would have been getting looks from major tournaments overseas.
Bro, he's been First of all, I feel
no,
like
not major leagues. Let me put it that way. Sorry, I said tournaments.
but he's
Yeah.
played in big teams before though.
What? what? Big team?
Poto.
Porto is
Please,
a big
come on, that's
team.
not a big team. Come on
Besiktas
now.
is a big
Besiktas
team.
is
That's
a
not a
big
big
team.
team.
Those are big
Come on
teams.
now.
Besiktas is a big
That's
team.
not a big team. When we're talking big team, we're
Not
talking about the
everybody
top
has to
5
play
leagues.
in England, bro. England
Again,
is not
we're
the,
talking top 5 leagues. Those are big teams.
What do you
in
mean?
Turkey, that's the same thing. In Turkey, Besiktas is a big deal. In
It's
Portugal,
a big
Porto is
team.
a big
That's a
deal.
very big team. That's why we know him.
In his
That is
last
not a
season,
big
in
team,
his last
man. Come
season,
on.
in his last season, Besiktas he scored 15 goals in 26 games. That's actually a good record.
Okay. And guess what? That would translate to 6
let me ask
goals
you a
in
question.
Barcelona or Real Madrid, if
Let
at
me ask you a
best.
question. Let me ask you a question. Is Roger Miller a legend in Africa?
Yes.
In Cameroon.
He
Yeah.
didn't play for any
Where
big
did he,
teams
where
though.
did he play? No, but he didn't play for Barcelona or
Ex-
Real or anything like that.
Exactly.
No. But my
Even
point is
Boma.
my point is he consistently again was the man to watch
Who?
in Africa. Roger Mila.
How
He
many
was
times
the
did you watch
man.
him?
Let's be real. We've seen
How
all the
many times
highlights.
did you watch him?
We've
How
seen
many?
all the highlights.
Do you know when he came to the spotlight?
I was like 40
Wait,
years old.
talk. Question. So you're saying you don't know about him?
I'm asking
Who
you.
saying we
No,
don't know
I'm
about-
asking you a question. You're saying you don't know about him.
Yo, first of all, you can know about somebody because they made that one. Like for example, so somebody in Cameroon, a young fellow, will say, "Okay, I remember Abubakar because he scored the winning goal in Egypt, not because he was consistent." So you can be a legend for one moment, not for your whole career or for your whole tournament. It's just one moment. One moment is one goal. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. One moment is not one moment. If you're not consistent with other stuff, is not going to make you a legend.
Bro, there are certain players who are legends in their clubs or in their countries because of one specific moment.
I'll give you one example.
Oh,
Patrick Mumba.
Hey, hold on.
Patrick Mumba is-
Hey, yo, let me tell you this guy. You remember the World Cup in 1990 in Italy?
I wasn't born.
Well, you don't remember. You can watch it on. I mean, I'm sure you can.
And here you are talking about Roger Miller.
Because we saw the
No,
highlights.
no, I wasn't talking about Roger. I was talking about the Italian striker called Paolo Rossi. He was in jail. That guy, first of all, right? He was released and he played the World Cup. He's never been a big player or anything like that, but he had one of the greatest, tournaments. And Italy, they won that World Cup, and that's about it. But that guy is a legend, a legend in Italy. So you don't have to be like playing like they say like in big teams scoring 50 goals and stuff like that to be a legend.
True.
You can be a legend in a small period of time. Doing
Yeah.
one tournament.
Yeah. I mean, if you score the game, if you score the winning goal in the World Cup, right, for your country, and you're like the most worst player in your club, you would remember it forever, just for that moment.
Facts.
So
Well, there's this
You-
one player for my football people. Have you ever heard the name Salenko?
Tarenko. Uh-huh.
Played for Russia. He took one tournament.
Oh,
I mean, if you know football from back then, how many goals did he score
Yeah,
against Cameroon in one game?
Yep. 6, right? 6 or something like that.
And then they got
Was it
eliminated.
6 ago.
He came out the
Yeah,
top
and
goal
they-
scorer from one game.
Yeah.
One game.
Yeah, that's true.
It just takes one moment, man. One
Facto.
moment.
So the reason why I was saying Boma is a legend, right? We saw what he did in the Olympics.
2000.
After that, he matched up with like every other game after that, right? He matched the same, not the same goal scoring record, but he was still our leading scorer,
Did he
right?
play
When
for
our team was
Barcelona though?
winning. What?
Did he play for Barcelona or Madrid?
Nah, he played in Italy, didn't he? Didn't he play for PSG too? Okay,
for
then I thought so.
Parma.
Shush.
Yeah.
Parma.
Shush. But either way, he was
Yeah, it was.
consistently leading our team to victory, right? And we were winning, so that's what makes him a legend. Cameroon has not done anything
What are you
this
talking
big
about?
with this guy, with
We won the
Abubakar.
Afcon in 2017.
Afcon
It's
is
not
not a
big.
big deal. You're not
What?
downplaying Afcon again. Why are you downplaying Afcon, this guy?
Again, my point is, you do something one tournament, you're good, right? When you do it consistently, that's what makes you a legend.
He scored a winning goal in 2017. He led the tournament in goals in 2021. What do you want? What else do you want?
That's 2 tournaments.
Right?
We are
And
not
he's,
yet.
he's been the leading goal scorer for Cameroon since that time
We
period.
need that
What do
representation
you
in
want?
big games. Boma was doing this consistently.
Okay, did you watch the last game? Did you watch the last game that Cameroon played?
Yeah, I watched some of it.
You think he was consistent? You said Boma was witty.
Snake.
Cameroon was
Boma
down.
consistently
Cameroon was down
producing for us.
3-0
Boma was
before
his
Abubakar
nigga.
came into the
I didn't think you heard. But anyway, we are not here to judge who is a legend or who is not a legend, because to me, he might be a legend, to you, he's not a legend. Like some people will say,
The legend to
Stanley
you,
Eno is a legend. But me, I
legend.
don't see Stanley Eno as a
Boma is not a
legend.
legend
King
to you.
Kong.
We move.
Boma is
We move.
not a legend to you.
Boma is okay.
Don't lie to yourself, please.
Boma is not my legend. He's your legend, but it's okay.
I beg he's a legend to you.
He's
all
your
of you.
legend.
All of
I
you.
would say the one thing I remember from Boma is that bicycle kick.
In
That's
2000.
Even
Yeah.
that.
In a friendly
You hear
game.
that one, you know it's a goal. You hear that, you just know. You didn't watch the game. You're like Tete Boma, you know it's a goal.
Huh?
Come on now.
Like what?
That Tete Boma. Boom.
I think when I heard La Tête, I was hearing Mark Vivian Foué.
Oh no. Wait. That's not.
And then
Come
when it
on,
was
R.I.P.
Patrick Boma, it
R.I.P.
was
to the legend.
Patrick Magican Boma.
Patrick Magic.
R.I.P. to the GOAT, man. But when you heard La Tête de Boma, you knew it was going in. When that boy frapped that ball, that's left foot. You already knew, man. Come on
I
now.
don't remember hearing La Tête de
Come
Boma.
on.
Let us be
Because
moving on. We can talk
ain't
about
watching
Then the
anything.
Boma's nigga.
You ain't watching anything. You're in the village somewhere.
So okay, let's move on, please. So in terms of Afcon, right? I think the last 3 tournaments have been, in terms of social media, right? It has played a very big role in kind of the exposure that Afcon has gotten over the last 4 tournaments, maybe. Because many you go on Twitter, right? So you on Instagram, you see a lot of these people who actually go to these games and they're able to share, videos, share pictures, share the ambiance, which is very good because, back then without social media, at the stadium or you didn't have TV in your house, you didn't see any of these images, right? And sometimes all you get was a newspaper. Like your team can win the tournament today, but you won't find out until a week later when the paper comes out and says, "Oh, by the way, yeah, we won Afcon last week," and you're like, "Oh," then it's like, "Yeah, celebrating a week later." So that I know you are on social media a lot, and I was seeing your tweets and your retweets. So what do you think? How do you think Afcon is benefiting from the fact that we have a lot of what we call influencers out there who do, photography, who do advertising? How do you think Afcon is benefiting from this surge?
I mean, it goes back to, I think, having, what Blessing was talking about, the more eyes that, are placed upon the competition. I think with the age of social media, it's all about exposure. And like you said, some people don't have the chance to maybe watch a game, or, some, like, again, they always say a picture speaks 1,000 words. So sometimes it's just, maybe if you don't watch a game, but just seeing that picture, it can just tell you or give you a whole, explanation of what that vibe was at that time when that specific event happened, or somebody scored a goal, this and that. So I think it's definitely influential, especially me, as I was on Twitter and I was seeing all these Cameroonian content creators and photographers who were at the games and at the matches taking pictures. it felt so real, and I felt like I was part of the competition. So I feel like it's another avenue to make people more like feel like they're part of the competition. They're seeing face to face what is really going on. Plus, I had a chance to see very intimate pictures, maybe in the locker room or inside the stadium as the players are coming in, everything that they do. So I think it was very good, and it's a good thing for footballers because football brings people together, and if we can all share those intimate moments together, we have a chance to feel exactly what those players were feeling.
I like how you use the word intimate because
Intimate.
when we see football like this, we become very intimate, eh? So I
Yeah.
know, so you were actually in Cameroon during the tournament. Like, what was the atmosphere like? How did how did the people, how did they look, feel?
My goodness. First of all, Cameroonians like to go to the bar. And then now, if they can find another excuse or another reason to go to the bar and add it on top of the reason they already have, it's a big party, man. It was great. You're passing by and you're seeing the bars, they're full, the games are on, people are watching, people are sitting there, even before the game, sitting there waiting for the games to start. And you're seeing flags going up and down Cameroon. Every Okada, every motorcycle has like 6 different flags. And if you ask them, they probably don't even know which flag is
Which
which
flag
flag.
is which?
But the city just being decorated with colors, and sometimes you're even just walking on the street, and then you see like the convoy of maybe one team passing by. It was lovely, and then vuvuzelas, and it was
Mm.
just
Mm,
it was
No,
just a
but,
big colorful party.
I'm
But
jealous.
I heard that they were saying like before the tournament start, if you go through the city, you don't really feel like something is happening. But as soon as the tournament start, that's when people
Yes.
are kind of like involved.
Yeah.
Because they were saying that that's how Cameroons are. They just went until the last minute and then everybody will just join the
Yeah.
party.
Cameroonians love last minute nonsense. Don't mind them.
90 minutes.
You would know today.
Okay, so one of the funny things, and well, not really funny, but it's something that we all are part of, being fans of different teams. We have Arsenal fans here, we have Chelsea fans here, we have Real Madrid fans here, and then some other clubs as well.
Real
Um,
Madrid.
some other clubs as well. So one thing that we tend to get involved in is the banter, right, between teams. But this was Afcon, so it's not between teams now. It's about different countries, right? So you have Cameroonians arguing with Ivorians. We had Cameroonians with Egypt. I mean, I don't know what other countries were
Niger
going.
with the
Of
biggest
course, our
mouths.
next door neighbor. we had the banter going on between countries, but the biggest one though was against Ivory Coast. All right. Wait, are we playing Ivory Coast in the World Cup qualifiers in a few weeks' time?
We already played them.
What are we playing in the last round?
We're playing Algeria.
Egypt. It was Algeria. Okay. Yes. I wish it was Ivory Coast, man.
But
Come on, man.
but
You're letting me
Niger is
down.
Niger
Nah,
is playing
man.
Ghana.
That's good. But of the Jollofs.
And Egypt is playing Senegal again.
Senegal, yeah, again.
Mm.
So in terms of banter is always fun, right? But there's always people who are going to take it too personal because they don't know how to handle people like Aristide who are very new to this banter life to start crying. "Hey, that's my country,
He's new to
man."
sports in general.
New to sports. So yeah, a banter expert. So what was your funniest? Which banter did you think was the funniest in terms of Afcon this past tournament?
Well, I think being a Cameroonian, I think the funniest to me was definitely the Cameroon Ivory Coast banter because I mean this goes way back. It didn't just start this tournament. I remember when uh Cameroon lost out on making the World Cup and Ivory Coast made the World Cup and they made the whole Coupe de Calais song. Ici Abidjan, oh, that song. And so even before the African Nations Cup, the Afcon, when Cameroon played Ivory Coast
And
and won
that poto poto.
no, when they won that final game
Oh yeah,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
that final group game, I had to go look for that clip. I cut that part out and sent it to all my Ivorian friends. So the beef had already started back then, right? And then now going into this tournament and how they lost some of the games they lost.
With the
My
squad they have,
goodness, with the squad they have, it was just
they have
and
Wilfred Zaha.
yes, and the goal
Pepe.
the goal that they tied against Ivory Coast against Sierra Leone,
Oh, that
sorry.
that face plant.
Right, when the goalkeeper did whatever he did, within
Played
like
that guy off.
2 hours or the next day, the very next day, somebody had already enacted a video
We had
or
drafts ready.
yes, and I
People
was
don't
man,
know. We have drafts.
it was that was my funniest.
Factors, factors. Carson, is it the same or is it Nigeria?
Man, this Niger. Hey, I was so happy to see them go. Like just ecstatic to see them go. Cause the way that just making mouth all the time, like just talking, talking, talking for what? That's oh, we'll see you guys later on. We'll meet you guys later on. I'm like, bro, meet us where? Like struggle and win your own match first. When they left, I didn't even. Well, let me say I didn't care if we won. I cared if we won, but I was so happy they left, and obviously Ghana must go. That was just ironic.
Oh, the hashtag was trending, man.
That was just ironic. That was beautiful to see.
Yeah, and that, what about you? Is it which one? Is it different one? Egypt,
No,
Ghana?
I would say probably the same. The Ivory Coast one. Those, being on
And I
Twitter,
don't.
you see all the banter going back and forth, and blessing. You said that back then they made a song about and I know they made a song now as well. I don't know if you guys
Oh yeah, they
heard it.
did.
And somebody was like, "You guys don't even know we're gonna dance to this song more than you guys even."
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
this.
So the question that I asked you was like, what does this first title mean for Senegal?
Ah man, it means a lot, man, because think about since 1960 we've been chasing for this title, so what it means, and you have generation of players that have sacrificed everything just to win this Afcon, and they sometimes they are so close, and that happens. Sometimes they are one of the greatest players in Africa, and we just couldn't do it. And to see that this time we were able to do it, it's great. It's people still can't believe it. Your first one is always special.
That's what they say.
Facts.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
But,
But talking
mm,
about
but you
Senegal,
got
man, I am
you, you,
I was so happy for Senegal because first this is not the first final they've been in, right? So they've been in multiple finals and lost. Matter of fact, they lost. Didn't they lose last
Yeah, the
tournament's
last one,
final?
the
that's
goal that they
yeah
lost to was a
last
very
year.
painful one too. That goal
Right.
was just
Yeah.
Right.
Was
So
it a free kick?
so I feel I mean I was so happy for them and also especially happy for your coach Aliou Cissé
And yeah, and
who was a Senegalese legend and the reason I was really happy for him because first of all he's from Senegal, right? You don't see a lot of African countries,
hmm
taking someone from their own country to coach the national team. And also, I am happy that they won in penalties because if you go back to
yeah,
2002,
Aliou Cisse was
yeah,
part of
yeah,
that. Yeah.
when they lost to Cameroon in the final, he was one of the people who missed. So to see his team win
yeah.
in the final and on penalties, just it's just beautiful. And
And
to
the
add to
thing is,
that, a lot of people, even Senegalese, have been criticizing him for the longest time. So to finally see him
yeah,
give them what they wanted and what they deserve, it's just something of joy.
Well
yeah,
said.
people
Well
are not,
said.
Senegal, they like, beautiful soccer, so, and they was feeling like he didn't have like a best, that style of football, even though he was winning, which is what they asked for, coach, But I think after the three games, the group stage, you know, things just change. We have this because from the start of the tournament, we have nine players who were like affected by COVID, and some other players they were even left. They were left in Senegal. They didn't make the trip until 5 days later. So I would say in the group stage, that's when we start to have everybody, in the team. And when you have your core players, it makes it easy. And some of these guys like Mane, Koyate, Gay, and Cis, they've been playing since 2012. They were part of that Olympic team. So, and then now you add to those people Mendy, Jallo, and all these guys, Koulibaly. It makes a good mix. So I think they were just so um, sure about winning this. Even though like some people were kind of doubting. I never have any doubt, but once they have the group ready to go, we can go all the way. So
Yes.
and the
To to to
yeah.
to your point, and this is something that I realized with a lot of people, especially this African Nations Cup tournament, because like Bernard mentioned earlier, there were a lot of people tweeting on social media. And you saw the people that knew about football and you saw the people that clearly didn't know anything about football. This was their first time getting involved with something about football. So to your point
Mm-hmm.
about the people not being happy with the play style, a lot of people do not understand that tournaments like this, the national team is not a team you train with every day. You guys have an
Yes, yes.
international break and you come to camp and you practice, and that's not enough time for a team to gel. So for example, with Senegal, I was also saying when the tournament started, when they were playing, they have the stars, they have the big names, but they did not impress me from the very first few games. But now, as you saw that with every game in the group stage, they got better, and every game in the group stage, they better. So I think that people who understand football are a little patient to see what will happen
Mm-hmm.
at the end. But the people who are not, big football people who don't know much about football just want 3 points, just want to see a win. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Factos.
And I think one thing that helped us a lot was we were in Bafoussam. I heard that it's like a high altitude. So when they come back, then they came to Yaoundé. They were so strong physically. So I think that's always an element that plays on why they physically they were able to to play like they finish up all their game very strong. So they usually don't get tired. And one thing I liked about this final, they took you know Egypt to where they are strong, which is the penalty kick. But it was a great feeling, man. And Sadio Mane is he has a great strength, mentally to go and take the last penalty kick. Something special.
Yep, yep, yep. So we're gonna end with something a little bit fun. Pretty much just talk about, I guess, your first or favorite Afcon moment. Um, I think I can actually go first. Why you guys start thinking deep into your football dictionary. I know you don't have any dictionary, but just try. But I think I think one of my first and probably um well let's just say first memory of Afcon was Mali 2002, and I think who won that tournament? Was it Cameroon? I think it was Cameroon won the tournament. I think
Mali
Cameroon won
beat Cameroon
2000.
against
against
Senegal.
against Senegal.
Yeah.
Senegal
Senegal.
was second, but I think that was the first time that I was actually introduced to Senegalese music.
Mm.
Yeah, because one of the games that
Senegal, like,
yeah one of the games that was on TV, I heard this particular song and the rhythm like stuck in my head. So like
mm,
fast forward to almost 15, 16 years later, I heard it again somewhere, and it kind of brought me back, you know. Um, and that's how I guess my love for Senegalese music kind of kicked off again. So that's kind of like my first memory of Afcon.
mm.
Carson.
Carson.
Where's Carlson? He left. I'm
What?
not I'm not hearing anything from him.
Yeah,
What do you
Is he
Carson.
mean?
sleepy?
Carson is
Can you guys hear
googling.
him?
Carson is googling his first memory.
Oh no, I'm not googling anything. I'm chilling. I'm
Oh,
really
so
not
tell
paying
so
attention.
tell us about your
First or
Uh,
favorite.
first or favorite.
It was
damn.
2019.
Nah. Mine would be 2000 Cameroon,
Oh,
Nigeria. You can tell the rivalry between that I have with some with certain Nigerians, man. And I remember this. I remember it in patches because I was so young, but I remember specifically my legend himself, Patrick Boma, scoring against Nigeria in the finals.
Did not make.
Yeah, that first goal, opening goal. That
mm,
like, and I remember specifically, that's when that song, Magic System. It was around that time they dropped that song. You just hearing it all the
Espoir de
time.
Mille.
Yeah. So like, just I remember when Cameroon won, that song playing everywhere, the excitement. So like, that's pretty much it. I don't remember the match as much as it went, all that stuff. I just remember bits and patches of it, and I remember Buma was my favorite player from that moment.
I think the
That's
big thing about that game too is that it was in Lagos.
yeah, it was right in Nigeria too. So,
It was
and
in
the
the
thing is,
heart.
they came back. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because we're up 2-0,
Yeah, we're up
and then
to
they
zero.
came back, and then we ended up winning. And I was like, bro,
Yeah.
that takes it for me.
So let me test your knowledge. Who missed the penalty for Cameroon in the shootout?
Who missed the penalty for Cameroon in the shootout?
Yeah, it was 3-4.
I don't even remember the score.
Marc Vivien Foy.
It
Well
was
done,
Sway.
sir. Well done, sir.
Wow, I didn't even know.
Now
I
ask
did
me
not
who,
know.
who scored the winning PK.
I'm not going to ask who scored in PK, but they played the tournament, right?
Ask Aristide.
It was the
No.
player of the what? African player of the year.
Who? Oh, Carson. Who was it?
African player of the year.
Who was it, Carson?
Our African player of the year in 2000.
Who
Who was
scored
that?
it?
My legend.
Uh-huh.
I'll leave it at that.
You're filled.
I
You're
don't know
filled,
who
man.
missed the penalty. I'm just talking about my African player of the year.
I'm
That's
talking
Oh
about who
yeah,
scored the
who
winning
scored the winning
penalty.
penalty? Yeah,
oh,
there
I
you
don't
go.
know. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, Song. It was Song. It was Song.
Rigobert.
It was Song. I
That'd
remember.
be sweet.
I remember
Send
because he
me the
kicked that
penalty.
ball up. It was
He,
up.
he,
I
he
remember. I
scored it
remember.
and then ran and then did
I
like a
remember.
back this
Yeah,
thing like
yeah,
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
yeah, you would
It was
know.
Song. I don't know why I forgot, but like it was Song. I
Yeah,
remember that because he dropped that ball. That ball was up. It just a little bit would have hit went over the bar. I remember. I
Some
don't know
mango
why,
ass. Song was like, let's get out of
bro.
Nigeria.
Son, El
Yeah.
Capitano.
Anyway,
Ah,
Aristide.
Don't be questioning me like that, please. I don't like pressure.
Oh, I know my football stuff, man. So
Bro, first off, you can barely remember that moment. That was 20 years ago, man. How old were you?
Barely.
me, barely. Did you see how confident I was
Come on now. Shoot.
when you talked about the goal? I told you what kind of goal it was,
Hey
where the ball
man,
went
it's
to.
my turn, guys. And I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all, man.
Nah, I would say 2017.
2017.
No. It's not even
You said
2017.
2022.
No. It's 2021. You
2020.
know, 2021 is my favorite memory so far of the Afcon. You know,
Ah,
I feel
okay.
like for me, there's been so many memories about Cameroon football. I can't really. I don't even know which one is which and what year is what. So I can't really speak on that. But I would say that the one that I remember that I know for a fact 2017, 2019, and 2021. But going back, I just know bits and pieces of memories and goals. I don't really know. But for me, I would say so far my most memorable one would be this one. Because I feel like for me in life, right, there are certain experiences that you sort of like mark as like a
Turning
time or a
point.
period in your life. So now for me, it's like before the Afcon in Cameroon or after the Afcon in Cameroon. You know what I mean? So I would say, experiencing even though I wasn't in Cameroon, but experiencing the joy and the pride of us hosting the Afcon and me being a witness to it from afar. It definitely is a memory for me. It's a core memory. So from now on, I feel like my life is gonna be like, oh, remember it was this happened after Afcon in Cameroon or before Afcon in Cameroon. So for me, it's definitely this year.
Good point. Well said. I like that.
Let me ask you a
Nice.
question. Which Cameroon team is the best of all time for you? Like, what generation you think?
Between 19 and 2002, that was a squad.
Yeah.
Huh?
Go and Boma and
Is
Song.
it 20?
Between 98 and
No.
2002.
Yeah, which one? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's 90. Yeah.
Yeah.
That team's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same people. There's a
Oh,
few
no.
tweaks.
Yeah.
The core was still there,
So
though.
I think for me, right, the best team was the one that went to the quarterfinal, the World Cup in 1990.
Yeah, when we were all born and we sat down and watched it.
Yeah, with
None of us were
Makanaki.
born then.
I know,
Hey,
but
speak for
oh my
yourself.
God, I mean, if you can go and YouTube and you try to watch that quarterfinal against England,
I think we've
this
all
guy
seen that match by
they
now.
Right,
they play one of the best football you can. Oh my gosh.
right. But when you talk about the best thing for us, we're thinking something that we actually like,
Witness and felt
witnessed.
connected to.
Yeah,
Yeah, because those were heroes, man. The Kalas,
yeah.
the
bro.
Chatos, the Womes,
You
those
saw
were
the
heroes, man.
transition from what Aliou Boka to Kameni,
I mean, yeah.
man.
You know Jacques
Yeah.
Songo?
So come on
Hi.
now, it was the
Oh, that was
goalkeeper coach. Come on
come
now,
on,
come on.
come
I
on,
mean, we know
Kono.
Hey,
him. We saw the save,
Carson! Oh
but he was a
Lord!
goalkeeper coach. Now, was he not the goalkeeper coach?
For who?
For Kameni and Alim Boka for the national team after he retired. Come on now, don't test me. Don't test me.
Hey,
I know my stuff, man.
We die here tonight.
Carson,
Was he not the coach, the goalkeeper coach for them when he
come
retired?
again. Do you mean Thomas Kono
Oh shit, it
or
was Kuno.
Jacques Songo?
What's going on? What's going on? You're
Carson,
right.
you want to talk
You're right.
goalkeepers with me?
I'm
You're
telling
right.
you,
You're
there's a
right.
goalkeeper here. Yeah, I'm
You're right.
talking about goalkeepers.
You're right.
Anyway,
I was
we,
mixing
we
the
move.
names. You're right.
Let's
You're
forget
Yeah,
right.
and
it.
then we
You're right.
move.
Mustafa,
You're right. But
what's
yes,
your
I know
This
Songo.
favorite?
stays on
Songo was the
on the
second goalie.
recording.
Songo was the second goalie. You're right. I remember. I'm mixing names.
Remember, remember what's his name? The Italian goalkeeper. What's his name? Uh, he named his son after Thomas and Kono.
Oh yeah. I heard that. I don't remember which keeper did that, but I heard about that.
What about what?
The keeper named his son after the Kono.
Hmm, interesting.
Mustafa, what's your first memory or favorite of the Afcons?
Please don't say 60s because we're not there.
Yes.
No, I wasn't. No, I was. I think I was still young, but a kid. But 1992 in Senegal was the first time I was really introduced to Afcon. Um, Unfortunately, we lost in the quarterfinal to Nigeria. That was when the big Nigerian team come up, like the Finidi George, um, uh, not Jerry Okacha wasn't there, but I think Finidi George was there, Yekini, all those guys, um, and one of my best player all time in Africa, and unfortunately, not many people know him this day, but if he was playing this time, he will be a Ballon d'Or for sure. Is Abedi Pele from Ghana. Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so yeah,
My first memory is the 2001 in Lagos, Cameroon, Nigeria. But I think my favorite, actually one of my favorite moments comes from the 2017 Afcon because and I think that's because the squad that Cameroon had, nobody believed in them. Um, they were not the most talented squad, but they were together. And then that winning moment in the final against Egypt by Abubakar,
Carson Zero.
chef's kiss.
That go lives rent free in my head.
Yep,
Chess, pap.
finish. Put that goalkeeper to retirement.
But sometimes I wonder like how they just allowed Baka to do those things.
Skill, man. Skill.
Don't
Skill, skill.
underestimate him.
Yeah, like you.
I don't.
Before we conclude, there's something when we were talking about the funny things, right, that
Mm.
happened. Um, there was this quote from the Malawi coach Mario Marinica, and he said, and I quote, "Our clothes have not been washed. It is a pity we are treated like this. You won't see Sadio Mane wash his underwear and put them on the tree trunk to dry while we do. We are treated like second class."
Mm.
Hmm. Now, when I heard that, I, I wonder. I was like, why would they be treated like so? Why would they feel this way? And then again, it came to mind. I'm like, I mean, the hotels were told what to provide, so I'm pretty sure they provided laundry machines. Now, if the people who
Don't know how to
reside in
use
those
it.
hotels don't know how to use the laundry machines and they are used to drying their stuff on trees, Whose problem is that? Why were they blaming Cameroon? Why were they blaming Cameroon? Anyway, I found that
Maybe they cut the
hilarious.
light. Who knows?
There are no washers in Lilongwe.
I found that hilarious. Anyway,
Yo,
I
so
found it
question: Do
funny
they
that they
play some
compared
games
to
up north
Sadio
too?
Mane. Huh?
Hmm?
Do they play some games up north?
Yeah,
Yes,
Garwa.
Garwa.
Oh wow. Did you go to any of them or no?
I went to Douala,
Oh,
Japoma. They said him in Douala. Yeah,
Chapoma.
Sierra Leone against Algeria.
okay.
Yeah.
Sierra Leone, Nigeria. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you once again. Shout out to the current kings of Africa, Senegal. Thank you, Mustafa, for taking the time to chat with us here at Now You Know Podcast. Cameroon should have won, but Senegal
Yep.
won. We move.
I
Uh,
want a final Cameroon Senegal. Then. That would have
next
been
time, next
nice.
time. Don't worry.
We
In
don't want. We
2020,
don't want it.
2023, we're gonna
So
be in Ivory Coast, where the banter will definitely continue. We all
Yeah.
know it. We all know it for sure. So I
Bell.
appreciate you
they are
guys
ready for
for
you.
calling my name. I want to go and sleep. What's up?
Before we go, I want to mention the
Hmm.
tragedy that happened during
Oh yeah, how did we forget that?
the tournament.
Oh yeah. All of yeah.
So
Oh,
So,
with
Bell, take charge.
Mane and his buddy.
Huh?
You said strategy, right?
Oh no,
yeah,
tragedy.
it
Oh,
is.
Like Romeo
tragedy. I
and
heard
Yeah,
Juliet kind of
strategy.
tragedy.
He
the
has a
people
good
who die
accent.
from the
Yeah, so
yeah.
there was a game in the new
Olimbe.
Olembe Stadium. um there was kind of a stampede as fans who did not have tickets, they were hopping over the fence to get access to the stadium, and some people lost their lives. It's a very unfortunate situation. Um, so we want to wish their families well, extend our condolences. Things like this, should be avoided, and Cameroon has definitely taken um, the necessary steps to avoid something like this from happening again. They did ban matches. They temporarily banned matches for that stadium, but as Cameroon took those precautions, they ended up allowing subsequent games to be played at the Olympic Stadium. So it's a very unfortunate situation. May their souls rest in peace. I know I did see a lot of people posting about it. Because some people who those who lost their lives, some of them had families and friends who I know, and I saw them, posting and wishing them well on social media. So it's a very unfortunate situation.
Again,
You're muted, sir.
You're on mute.
Bell, close up. Let's
can you
go.
hear me?
Yeah, we hear you
Now we
now.
can.
Can you hear me? Okay. But I was saying that I like what that they have like a minute of silence for every game to remember those people, and the Cameroon team they give them like you know they it was like 50 million or something. I can remember how much they give them
Yeah,
like
the players gave their bonuses to those families.
their
Yeah.
bonuses and stuff like that. Yeah, but the sad thing is here, right? You have 8 people who die, like I was saying earlier from the start. We didn't give it the attention we should have give those people in the eyes of the world. We are the one, our journalists, we should have put those people in front and make that the world know, and celebrate them and stuff like that. If like those people died in Europe, it's gonna be a tragedy all over the world. You will be hearing about it all over. So we need to start, uh, I mean, valuing what we have as Africans. I think that's key, man. And this world is changing now. We have young Africans who are ready to take the continent back from whoever is, you know, trying to keep on hold on them. So, but whatever we do in Africa, we need to promote it. We need to to support it. We need to, we need to, to make it our own, and just not always go and, idolize whatever is happening somewhere else. Like, I think that's my final words, for tonight.
Yes, sir. I completely agree with you. Um, Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Now You Know podcast, which is brought to you by our good friends at Stuck in the Middle. I appreciate you. Blesso, Mustafa, Senegalese, Mbalak's
Thank
boy.
you, man, for having me.
Yes, sir. Carson and Aristide. This has been fun. Check us out on Instagram at NYK Podcast and also on Twitter at Now You Know One. My name is Bell. On behalf of myself and the crew here at NYK Podcast, peace out.
Yala.
Good night.